I'm okay. I'm totally fine.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Topic Tuesday. Today's topic is that writing style, fanfiction. Personally, I love fanfiction. It's a great exploration into the variations on a certain topic or series. With Naruto, we can find out what else he can do in different situations and in different stories that you will never see or you will never get to know from the actual canon source. And I think that is the whole point. When a fan gets to really enjoy a story or a character within a series, you never really get to see more about them that you would like to see. Fan fiction is what we want as fans, even if we don't want it actually canon. There are times when a fanfiction can go too far, where it can introduce elements that, yes, we want to hear, want to see, but at the end of the day, we know they won't fit the story. We just want to experience it. And that is why I enjoy doing fanfiction, whether it be in comic style or in text format. Now, there is no wrong way to write fanfiction, in my opinion. It can be as long as you want, as short as you want. The skill that goes into writing fanfiction is varied in itself. You can have somebody who's really good at writing or somebody who's really bad at writing, but it is the story itself that people like. I've read fanfictions that were so indescriptive that you have no enjoyment from it in the sense of reading it, but you read the story and the plot's there, the idea is put across and the situation is exposed, and you can either enjoy that or you can just sit back and say, oh no, it's a terrible story. It's up to opinion. It's not made for everybody. It is fanfiction. It's not canon. So if you like fanfiction, you like what you like. It is for the fans, by fans. But that is not to say that there shouldn't be some rules. And I follow personally a few rules of my own. And they technically are be true to the story, the canon material, the character arcs, to the point that it makes them recognizable. Because if you make Naruto different, people won't recognize him. But at the end of the day, that could be the part of the story. What if Naruto was darker? What if Hinata was darker? What if the world was different? What if Konoha had lost the last war? What if the Great Wars had literally made all of the characters down to zero almost? You know, what if there's only a few left? You know, how would that affect? And you've got to understand the characters to know how that would go. And that's what I mean by you have to remain true to the characters. If a character was brought up a different way in a different environment, they will act differently. But what if we want the same character but in a different situation, a darker situation? That can be the leap of logic. You have to kind of lead the audience, the reader, to understand that this is a different world, but it's the same characters. So most situations will be very similar, very familiar to the audience. Another rule, I think, is stay true to being a fan of it. You don't have to follow the canon. And I know it seems kind of contradictory to the first rule, but at the end of the day, it's fan fiction, and it has to be different. It has to be what you want it to be, but without losing what it is that made you a fan of that series. So if you're going to change things, feel free to change whatever you like, but without breaking rule one and staying true to the characters. Because if you're going to make fan fiction, you have to be a fan of it. You wouldn't make something, say, like Doctor Who and never include the Doctor. You would never make Rick and Morty and not have Rick or Morty in it. You know, you could be making a Rick and Morty or a Pokemon story where you don't have the main characters in it, but it's in the world. And, you know, you like that world. Like with Pokemon, I've made some fan fictions of a character going through his own arc It doesn't involve Ash or Misty or Brock or any of those characters, or even Dr. Oak, but they have their own story to have within the world of Pokemon. So you have to kind of know what the rules are. And with fanfiction, you have to establish your own rules for the universe, as well as modify the world's rules that were set up in the canon. With Naruto, since I'm a big Naruto fan, I know quite a bit about the world. I'm not an expert, I will admit to that. But I know enough to understand that this is what happens in this world. I can't change that without changing the rules of the world myself. Like in Naruto, they use chakra as their main power source for attacks. Even in technology, like sensory jutsu. Now that's all well and good, but what if I change that rule? What if I suddenly said chakra doesn't exist? I am changing the rule of that universe. What would the world be like if chakra never existed? You'd probably go into something more like the Naruto Gaiden series. Well, series, I say, chapter. And that's what I mean by changing the rules. Naruto Gaiden is set in a world where chakra doesn't exist, so they grew up as normal children in a high school much closer to our world. So at the end of the day, no matter what you do with fanfiction, it is completely up to the person writing it. You can change the world that they're in. You can change the characters, but you have to understand how did they change from the canon. To make that understandable is the trick to good fanfiction, I think. Because you can write terrible fanfiction because it isn't understandable. You make Naruto evil. Why was he made evil? You might not have to explain it in the story, but how much you change a world is dependent. If you want to go, okay, Naruto's now in a normal world like ours, like in Naruto Gaiden, you kind of have to explain that, but not explain it in why it's different. You just write it as you do, but you have to make the characters recognizable, otherwise it's not fanfiction. It then becomes an original story. And fanfiction is just that, one step away from an original story. There was a story that I heard about, a fan fiction of Twilight that became 50 Shades of Grey, and all they had to do was change some of the characters, and that's it. So if you're writing fan fiction, don't worry about what you're writing as long as you know that the characters you're portraying fit what you like about it. Make it an homage, if you will, to the canon material without taking it away, but at the same time making it your own at the same time, because that, as I said, is what fanfiction is. It's fiction written by fans. But that's just my thought on the matter. If you would like to leave your own thoughts on this topic, tell me, what do you like about fanfiction? Do you write fanfiction yourself? How often do you prefer fanfiction to the original content? But if you would simply like to say anything else, like hi, then please feel free to comment below. I will read them. I do like to hear your opinions. And you can also find me on social media if you want to talk that way. All my links are below in the description. If you did like this video, then please leave a like by hitting that thumbs up. And if you would like to keep up to date on when I post a video, then feel free to hit that subscribe button. But for now, thank you for watching and enjoy your day.